recorded interviews, some of the highlights of the business breakfast. We're starting at 7 a.m. live during Ramadan, and we'd like to take this opportunity to wish you Ramadan Kareem.
We're speaking to Alec Emerson, who's a consultant at the Dispute Resolution Group at the law firm Clyde & Co. Alec, thanks for staying with us. Tell us, Alec, about the DIFC courts. They, of course, expanded their jurisdiction earlier this year. Have we seen a major surge in people trying to take their cases to the DIFC courts?
Right, well, there are two things that happened in DIFC, really. Last October, legislation was passed, which is the legislation that meant people could agree in writing to DIFC court's jurisdiction. And for that to filter through will take time because, first of all, you have to put those clauses in contracts. Most of those contracts will probably be performed satisfactorily, and that will only cut in when people have the clauses in the contracts and they fall out and end up going to the DIFC court. But then we've had a couple of decisions of the court which has actually increased the jurisdiction by enabling people to sue companies with whom they had a contract outside DIFC if those companies have a branch in DIFC. And that the most well-known case involved Barclays Bank, which was sued by some traders called Corinth. The contract, the deal was done in Jebel Ali, but the court in DIFC held it had jurisdiction because Barclays have a branch within DIFC.
Are you expecting, once sort of the contracts filter through, as you say, people signing new contracts start writing the DIFC courts into their agreements, are you expecting to see an uptick then?
Yes, I think so. I think we see quite a lot of international businesses who conduct business in English and want to have an English type involved if they fall out. I think we see there are a lot of people want to do that. It's popular in international businesses, and so I think that over a period of time the caseload of DIFC courts will increase as a result of that.
When it does come to writing contracts, because you mentioned earlier that what options are available to people when it comes to different types of dispute resolution often depends on what is in their contract. What do people have to bear in mind? What should you be thinking about when you are drawing up a business contract?
Well, first of all, you should be thinking, and I see quite a lot of contracts where it doesn't appear that people have really given it much thought, and they pull out sort of perhaps old clauses from some old contract. They pull out clauses that actually don't work, sometimes even if they've got lawyers acting for them. So often what happens is that people leave that jurisdiction clause and choice of law clause to the end after they've sorted out what they think is important, which it is, all the commercial points, and then they just stick something in. So they really need to start thinking at the time that they're negotiating the contract, what happens if it goes wrong? And of course, humans being humans, we probably don't want to do that. We want to assume it all goes right. So they really need to start thinking now, do I want this to be heard in the local court in Arabic? Do I want it to be heard in the DIFC court in English? Do I want to be able to choose or have some say in choosing who is going to hear the dispute if there is one? So do I want to go for arbitration? Do I want to have a stay